प्रसन्नवदनां देवी द्विभुजां स्थिरलोचना.
As announced on 17th December, I had to go to Coimbatore in Kerala on the 20th, and you had Sunday lecture here on 24th on Jesus Christ by Swami Ranganathananda. That very evening I was speaking on Jesus Christ while inaugurating the 5-day spiritual retreat at the ashrama at Trichure. About 350 people had come from all over the state. Earlier, 21st, we had a very large public meeting in Coimbatore, where a book was released by me, written by Sri Avinashalingam, who is the director of the Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya in Coimbatore. The title of the book is Make Me a Man, quoting Swamiji's words. Very beautiful book. Some copies will come here in a few days' time. That was released before a large distinguished gathering. Then by car to Trichure and Kaladi. They have got a beautiful center in Kaladi and Trichure. On the river, Alvai river. A very heavenly place. Beautiful temple of Sri Ramakrishna. There I had to speak to an audience in Malayalam. Great difficulty. After 63 years, I am still speaking in Malayalam. I was very much worried. But anyway, it went off well, they said. Then came to Ernakulam, that is Cochin, inaugurating the All Kerala Bharat Vikas Parishat Conference. Very distinguished gathering. Then again, another meeting, and evening, opening the Vanaprastha Ashram of the people, Ramakrishna Vanaprastha Ashram in Ernakulam. It's a beautiful center. After 6:30, I left Ernakulam, came to Trichure for the retreat. Then 5 days retreat. Morning, English, evening, Malayalam. Gita and Ramakrishna Vivekananda and the Holy Mother. In the town, in the Sahitya Academy, there was the release of my Eternal Values for a Changing Society, Volume 4, Malayalam translation. 800 pages in English, 950 pages in Malayalam. Very distinguished gathering. That was on 27th. Then 28th, a youth meeting in the Trichure town center, ashrama. That was all young people as well as old people. Vivekananda's message to our youths. These are the activities there in Trichure. Then went to Ernakulam back to inaugurate a seminar on Vivekananda's ideas and education, attended by distinguished people. That was on 29th evening. 30th morning, I flew and reached here yesterday afternoon. It was a very hectic tour, but most worthwhile. We have to enter into the 16th chapter today. It is a very important chapter. Its ideas had been indicated in earlier chapters. Only 2 ideas. Human beings are divided into 2 categories. The moral, the immoral. In Sanskrit, Daivi, Asuri. Those who believe only in the sensory system, naturally they will like to find pleasure in the sensory system. Naturally they will be opposed, then they will have to fight, then violence will come, greed will come, all the evils will come one after the other. Others who believe that beyond this physical system there is a real self, a spark of the divine. So their life, although still with the sensory system and sensory pleasures, they know there is something higher. They must strive for it. So this is called Daivi Sampat those who strive for higher values, asuri sampat, those who strive for sensory values. This is an age-old division in every religion and every thinking, except the extreme materialists who do not believe anything beyond this sensory world. And some of them may be very crude, some of them may be very good also. In short term, materialism is good. Long term, all the evils begin to come out of their limited perspective. What we are experiencing is that kind of a long-term manifestation of materialism, even in India. So many evils arising. Therefore, this classification, which is found in other scriptures like the Mahabharata, is to enlighten us that these two choices are there. One choice is what leads us to higher levels of human development. The other is what puts us down, stagnant at the organic level. So, Daivi Sampat, Asuri Sampat. Sampat is wealth, the wealth of spiritual development, or the wealth of material pleasure. Both are used by the meaning understood by the name Sampat. Asuri Sampat and Daivi Sampat. Asura is a demon, demoniac type. Deva is a highly moral, humanistic type. These are the two. And Shankaracharya says, these belong only to human beings. We are dealing with human beings here. Even the word hell comes here. It only means hellish condition of life, not a separate hell or a separate heaven. So in this life, we can be either a Deva or an Asura. Deva, Deva itself means luminous. Some internal luminosity is there that finds expression in day-to-day work, day-to-day life, day-to-day interhuman relations. So, in one or two verses, Krishna describes the nature of a Daivika Sampat person endowed with Daivika qualities. And in a series of verses, he also expounds the Asuri qualities, Rakshasa qualities. This is the importance of this chapter. This applies to all societies, anywhere, everywhere. There are both these types in all societies. So the 16th chapter is specially concerned with this subject, Asuri and Daivi Sampat, qualities of human beings. And it begins with Sri Krishna's own statement, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. He says, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam. These are wonderful character traits which you can appreciate in any human being. And fortunately, in Vedanta, the first character trait that we must have is Abhayam, fearlessness. No virtue, no character can thrive on fear. This is Vedantic dictum. If you want to make your child moral, don't subject it to fear. Fear will be only making it secretly immoral. Fear is no contribution to moral life. So the first virtue Krishna mentions, as in all Vedanta, the whole Upanishads, fearlessness is the first virtue. So, Abhayam, Bhaya is fear, is negative, Abhayam, fearlessness, the first virtue. We try to improve human beings through fear. That improvement is only skin deep. If as soon as situation changes, that evil comes out. But when it is absorbed by the person, then that character becomes steady. Then only Abhaya can come in. Fearlessness. All moral life based on fearlessness. Fear is bad in education, is understood everywhere today. An example by Bertrand Russell is very interesting. A man had a kitten, little cat. He wanted to train it how to catch mice. Naturally, the cat knows how to catch, but he wanted to give it a training also. So he brought one mouse in front, tied it up there, and put the kitten in front, and with a stick gave a good beating. Go and catch, go and catch. This went on until the kitten began to shiver when it saw the mouse. That is the result of that fear in training an entity. Fearlessness alone can bring out the natural trait of a person. Fear inhibits all the good qualities. So abhayam is the first virtue everybody has to develop to be of Daivi Sampat category. This is Daivi Sampat, fearlessness. Then Sattva Samshuddhi, purity of buddhi or mind. Sattva Samshuddhi. Then Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi, being established in the pursuit of Jnana and Yoga. Jnana is knowledge, Yoga is practical realization. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi. Constantly the mind is engaged. How to achieve knowledge, how to live that knowledge. That's what makes for Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi. Then Dhanam, a man who is able to share his wealth with others. That's called Dhanam. There is a whole hymn in Rig Veda called Dana Stuti. That is the praise of Dana. Dana has been highly praised in all our literature. Whatever you have, share it, share it. That is why our people, having assimilated this teaching, have become the most hospitable people in the world. Many Western people speak about the tremendous hospitality of the Indian people because they have been taught this hospitality. One American professor told me after a lecture, we were having dinner in a hotel nearby. He and his wife were there, and then he said, we both of us were in Meerut University, mathematics as a Fulbright scholar. 3 months we stayed. Not a single day we could eat in our own house. Every day somebody will invite to that house, this house, and it's all enjoyable. We were so happy with this human touch everywhere. We didn't feel like a stranger. We have not had this experience anywhere else. He was telling. I said, you are right. This is a national trait. Hospitality. This is a beautiful idea. Dhanam. I have something, you are in need, here is that for you. The whole thing is done in a natural way. That is a Daivi Sampat. Dhanam. Damascha. Control of the sensory energy. That is Dhamma. No moral life can be without this discipline of sensory energies. If they are let loose, there is no moral life at all. So Dhamma is placed in a high category along with Shama. Shama means discipline of the mind. Dhamma means discipline of the senses. All civilized life need some discipline of sensory life. Otherwise there is no civilization. I can eat somebody as a cannibal. There is no civilization there. But in civilized society, I am restrained from doing so. And I learn to restrain myself. In this way, these virtues, Shama and Dhamma. Here it is Dhamma. Shama has come several times here. Dhamma. Shama Dhamma. It's a beautiful idea of Dhamma. Dham, control. You keep it down. Don't make it independent. Sensory system is subordinate to your own mental thinking and interest. So that's called Dhamma. If the senses are called the horses. If the horses are not controlled, how can you enjoy your journey? Horses will enjoy the journey. You will be a victim of that journey. So, control the senses, discipline them is the first great step in moral and spiritual life. Any civilized society must have a minimum of self-control by the people concerned. That's why the word Dhamma. In Sanskrit you can enjoy it much better than in English. Dhamma, if you reverse it, it becomes Mada. Mada means inebriation. Pride, arrogance, wealth also arrogance, all these are called Mada. Just like Drinking excess wine, you get inebriated. Having all these powers, you also become inebriated. Power can inebriate, is a great truth in political life. So, in Sanskrit we say, convert mada into dhamma. Yes, beautiful. Da, ma, da. But in English translation it won't come the same way. So one shloka says that vidya mado, dhana mado, abhijata matas tatha, mada ime avaliptana, ta eva mahatam damaha. Mahabharata, most probably, the shloka which says this type of inebriation comes from three sources for man. Vidya mado, a little knowledge, a few degrees came, man becomes arrogant. Mother has come, he has not been able to digest it. A thing becomes a mother when you are not able to digest it. If you could digest it, it won't be a mother at all. Even wine, if you can digest it, it won't throw you off your balance. Because it is more powerful than your digestive system, it becomes inebriant. Similarly, all these experiences, if you can digest it, there is no trouble. Even the food that you take, if you don't digest it, it becomes toxin to the system. Toxin itself is a type of mother. So, the word mother is used in this context as three sources. Vidya mado, that is quite familiar to many people, a little knowledge, arrogant, proud, like that. Dhana mado, next is wealth. Wealth also can upset our mind, the balance of it, especially newly rich people. Old people have had wealth for generations, they are not so arrogant as newly rich people. Now rich, as we call it. And so, Dhanamado, Sri Ramakrishna speaks about a frog, story of a frog. The frog was living and moving about near his hole. He found 1 rupee shining on the road. And he took that rupee and kept it in his hole. From that day he became a different frog. Very arrogant, very proud. One day the elephant was passing by the road. The frog was angry. He came out, gave a few kicks to the elephant's leg. What right have you to pass by my house? And went down gazing at the rupee later. The elephant never knew that a frog existed in the world. But he was satisfied. I have expressed my arrogance here. That's called Dhanamado. Third is Abhijata Madastatha, pedigree. I come from this pedigree, that pedigree. This also keeping for, making for inebriation. Having said this, the next line says, Mada ime avaliptanam. These are only inebriants or mada sources to the uncultured people. That's a wonderful state. Unrefined or uncultured people, these are mada. But ta'eva mahatam damaha. But to the great of mind and heart, these are completely digested. They become dhamma. What was mother becomes dhamma in this case. What a beautiful expression. Ta'eva mahatam damaha. A Gandhi can get any amount of name and fame. It doesn't make him arrogant at all. He digested all of them. He himself said one day, only Mahatmas knows the woes of Mahatmas. I've got so many woes with this Mahatma title, he said. So, the capacity to digest all these experiences is a spiritual capacity. When it is there, no inebriation will come. And therefore no wrong conduct also will come. Bad treatment of other people will not come. So these two words, Dhamma and Mada, are very significant in Sanskrit. We are all subject to various types of Mada. We have to train the mind not to make them inebriant. Take away that inebriating quality. That comes only from discrimination. That is the most important work the mind has to do in dealing with all these sensory level experiences and achievements. So, Dhanam, Dhamascha, this is Dhamma. Then Yajnascha, sacrifice. Some type of worship and other things are called sacrifice in a general term. Some worship of something higher than what is seen by the five senses. Yajnascha. Then Swadhyaya, study, understanding, gathering knowledge, swadhyaya, tapa, self-discipline, and concentrating the energies of the mind and the senses to understand truth. That is called tapa in the best definition given in Sanskrit literature. The Yajnavalkya Smriti has one sentence defining the word tapas. We generally understand by the word tapas some sort of austerity, 20 days fasting, standing in the sun, doing all sorts of what you call impossible things for the body. That is not the meaning of tapas, says Yajnavalkya Smriti. And his beautiful definition is quoted by Shankaracharya in his commentary on the Taittiriya Upanishad in a wonderful passage where the Upanishad says, try to realize Brahman through tapas. Tapas is Brahman. The cause and the effect are one and the same. Tapas is Brahman, is the language there. Now how can you get Brahman by standing in the hot sun for 12 hours? That tapas won't get you. So Yajnavalkya Smriti's sentence, Shankara quotes. What is that sentence? Manasascha indriyanamcha aikagrim tapa uchyate tachreya sarvadharmanam sadharma paramasmrutah. The concentration of the energies of the sense organs and the mind is known as tapas. That is the supreme dharma among all dharmas, all that is valuable to man. This is a supreme value. A wonderful achievement it is. Whether you become a scientist, administrator, a spiritual seeker, you need this capacity to concentrate the energies of the senses and the mind. And that is tapas. Behind every greatness, there is tapas. You make money, you need tapas. You get knowledge, you need tapas. You become name and fame you get, you need tapas. You become a scientist, you need tapas. So this definition is a universal definition. Manasascha indriyanamcha aikagryam, one-pointedness, tapa uchyate, that's called tapas. That wonderful idea comes here. You are in search of something higher, something better. That's called tapas. And so you have to train your mind and the inner energies. Then only you can achieve something. Therefore, this is primary tapas. Behind every great achievement there is tapas. So that tapas is mentioned here, tapaha. Swadhyaya tapa, arjavam, straightforwardness, not crooked. The opposite of arjavam is crooked, straightforward. Modern children are straightforward, they have arjavam. They have not learned the tricks of the grown-up people yet. So arjavam is highly praised in Vedanta, straightforwardness, not being crooked. This is the first sentence, first shloka. Next shloka continues the list. Ahimsa satyam akrodham astyaga chantirapayishvanam daya bhote shaloviluptvam mardavam hrirachaapalam. All these are beautiful qualities. In any moral code of any country, you will find these things there in varying ratios and proportions. Ahimsa, non-violence, just scattering violence around you. Something is wrong with the system. So ahimsa, actually it means therefore love. Behind ahimsa is love. Ahimsa, satyam, truth. Akrodham, absence of anger. That is krodha is anger, akrodham, not given to anger, bursts of temper. Tyagaha, spirit of detachment and renunciation. Tyaga. All higher values come from tyaga. Without tyaga, you can't live a moral life, or even as a citizen, you can't become a good citizen without tyaga. I must give up my own interest to some extent to work for the interest of the whole nation. Therefore it is called tyaga, the very basis of citizenship in a free society. Tyagaha. Shantihi, peacefulness. Mind is peaceful, not excited. Excited minds are dangerous for oneself or others. Shantihi. Then, apaishunam, absence of ill feeling. about others, picking holes and having ill feeling towards others. These are good quality of the mind. Apaishinam, Vishana bhava, abhava. Daya, compassion. A great word, daya. Bhuteshu, of all beings, compassion towards all beings. Daya bhuteshu. Aloluptvam, uncovetousness. Covetous means somebody has something, I must have it. I must somehow get it. All that is covetousness. This is absence of covetousness. Aloluptvam. Mardavam, he says, gentleness. Mridu means soft, gentle. What a fine quality. There is a shloka in the Mahabharata which praises gentleness. We think the fierce animal is better than a gentleman. A gentle gentleman. That is wrong. The gentle conquers the fierce. That is what Mahabharata says. The word mridu is what stands for gentleness or that softness. Mridu. And mriduna darunam hanti is the shloka. Daru means darunam is fierce. The mridu conquers the darunam is the sentence there. Mriduna darunam hanti. Mriduna hanti adarunam. Nasadhyam mriduna kasyat. Tasmat isnataram mridu. Mridu is the most powerful thing, most penetrating thing. The gentle conquers the hard. The soft conquers the hard. There is nothing that softness cannot gain. Therefore, softness is the highest virtue, is the translation of that word. A drop of water falling on a piece of rock. Every day it falls. The rock is really what you call reduced to size every day. Little. I have seen such a mridu water falling only just a little drip only. But what a change it is about there. In spiritual life, the gentle people have conquered the world, not the fierce people. Napoleon tried to conquer the world through war, tremendous power, and he thoroughly failed. When he was prisoner in St. Helena under the British, for 6 years, he had time to think about it. Then one day, in his conversation with his friends there, he made this remark. There are only two powers in the world, namely love and the sword. This sword is always conquered by love, the power of love, the spirit, as we call it, the spirit and the sword. The spirit has always conquered the sword, he said. Look at the world. Serious fever, myself and many others have tried to conquer the world through the sword. We all got defeated and we perished. But Jesus tried to conquer the world from the spirit, through love. And even today there are millions who will pay homage to him. So this has won in history. Take India for example. Swami Vivekananda refers to it. We have never conquered any countries in the world throughout our 5,000-year history. Though we have the power, we have respect for other people, live and let live. And so, people of India are called the gentle people. The mild Hindu is a term of reproach during the last century. Western people used to write, the mild Hindu has no hope in the world. They used to say, so they were all powerful, full of military power, wealth, etc. But they forgot that the mild can conquer the world and the powerful will disappear in no time. Empires based on force have simply disappeared. Even the Persian Empire, what a powerful empire it was, conquering Greece far away and getting defeated by the tiny Asians. What a terrible state it was. So this you can see in world history, that
the meek shall inherit the earth. Jesus has said, that is illustrated by India's history. The meek, the gentle, can inherit the earth. Not the powerful, not the aggressive, not the violent. They don't inherit the earth. Even animals, some of the powerful animals have gone away. But gentle insects below, they are always multiplied. A large number of them. So these are all studies many people have made. And we come to the conclusion that history has demonstrated. I put this sentence in my lecture, Vivekananda, India's Emissary to the West, in the second volume of Eternal Values, where I said there, India's history has demonstrated that the meek shall inherit the earth, the peaceful, they shall inherit the earth, and not the aggressive, the violent, etc. For short-term point of view, the violent can inherit. But a long-term point of view, it can never. That is the story of human civilization. Therefore, here, apaisanam, dayabhutayeshu, alolapvam, mardavam, gentleness, what a wonderful quality. Free, modesty. Free is a beautiful word in Sanskrit. Modesty. There is the king, the emperor of Persia, writing his concept on a stone in Persepolis in Iran. He was 2,500 years ago. I have achieved this, I have achieved this, like that, like that, like that. Within a short time, after 200 years, Alexander conquered all that area. And the whole thing became ruined here. And just few years ago, when the Shah of Persia was still ruling, we celebrated the 2,500th anniversary of that great empire. And it was only all ruined here. But still they celebrated it. Even the American president or vice president went there. Within a few years, Shah also went away. Nothing of that is there. Where is all this great pride and arrogance gone? All gone. So, just in a little brief authority, people misbehave like monkeys, says Shakespeare in his drama Measure for Measure. Here he says, free, modesty, atapalam. Atapalam is wonderful. Absence of fickleness. The mind doesn't know how to decide anything. Changing like that. That's called chapalam. This is achapalam. No fickleness. Mind is steady. That is the second verse. And the third verse says, Teja, Kshama, Dhruti, Shaucham, Adroho, Natimanita, Bhavanti, Sampadam, Daivim, Abhijatasya, Bharata. O Arjuna, these constitute the great wealth of those born as for Daivi Sampat, for this higher type of existence in the world. What are the other virtues? Tejaha, energy, brilliance and energy. Energy is very essential for all greatness. Tejaha. Then Kshama, forbearance, very great quality. In Sanskrit, in our Shastras, it is always written, Kshama Veerasya Bhushanam. Forbearance is a great quality of the heroic soul. Petty souls cannot forbear. Heroic souls can forbear. Kshama Veerasya Bhushanam. Never think Kshama is out of weakness. Out of strength only you can have Kshama. That's called Kshama Veerasya Bhushanam, of the hero. Kshama, Dhriti, tremendous willpower. He can get things done. That's called Dhriti. In the 18th chapter, these things will be given further definition. Dhriti. Then Shaucham, purity, cleanliness, all that is called Shaucham. Adroho, not harming others. Why should I harm somebody? But some people like to harm people. There are people like that who are inclined to harm people. That's called droha. Adroha, no harming of other people. Adroho, na atimanita. So also excessive pride and elation. Don't you know who I am? That attitude. Atimanita. These are the qualities that make one born for
that status of Daivi Sampat. Bhavanti Sampadam. These are the wealth acquired by people who belong to Daivi Sampat category. Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. This is the first group. This has come several times earlier in tidbits. Here it is concentrated in a particular series of 3 verses. In all the scriptures you find these descriptions. Even in moral codes you will get it. Even in secular ethical ideas you will find many of these. They are all universal values for a healthy human society. In a free competitive animal society you may not have all this. Though some animals are sometimes generous, sometimes kind, there is a lot of cooperation in the animal world. But that is all due to certain what you call genetical things in the system, not because of any achievement by moral development. But in man, these are all achieved by man himself, by his struggle, by his effort, by his moral craving, etc. Then he is now describing the nature of those who have Asuri Sampat, demoniac qualities. Say for example, when we study all this, you will find almost every one of them will fit our Hitler when he came to power. Every one of them you will find. That's why the whole world went against him. No friend anywhere in the world he had. Even in Germany, many were against him because he had this Asuri qualities in abundance. First, Dambho, there is arrogance, ostentation. Dambha, ostentation. Darpo, arrogance. Dambha, darpa. Krodha, anger. Parushyame self-conceit. Then Ajnanam, ignorance. Also Abhijatasya, Partha Sampadam he says. These are the qualities of one who is to become an Asuri Sampat person. These are the qualities. First statement is in a general way. Harshness, ignorance belong to one who is born of Partha to the status of Asuri Sampat. Devi Sampat Vimokshaya Nibandhaya Asuri Mata Mashuja Sampadam Devi Abhijatosi Pandava. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, these are Devi Sampat, take you to spiritual liberation, moksha. Devi Sampat helps you to achieve spiritual liberation. Then Asuri Sampat takes you to greater and greater bondage. Nibandhaya Asuri Mata. Then when he said this, Arjuna must have felt within himself, to what category do I belong? So Bhagavan assures him in the next line, Ma Shuchaha. Don't be sad, Arjuna, for you are fit for Devi Sampat, not for Asuri Sampat. Your qualities are all positive and not negative. Ma Shucha Sampadam Devim Abhijatosi Pandava. Hey Pandava, you are born to be in the category of Devi Sampat. You have got all those qualities. This is the assurance given to Arjuna and to every one of you who reads this text. Well, I am also meant for Devi Sampat, not for Asuri Sampat. That conviction must come within oneself. Just like the Krishna holds a mirror, you must see in that mirror your true form. This is the true form. That conviction must come to everyone. In general, he has spoken like this. Now he takes it more seriously in a detailed form. Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha daivo vistarasha proktaha asuram parthame shrunu. 2 types of humanity are there in the world. Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin. In this world there are 2 types of human beings. Daiva as well as asura. Divine as well as demoniac. These 2 are there. Daivo Vistarasha Proktaha. I have explained in detail what is the Daivi Sampat. Now listen to me to give the Asuri Sampat in a greater detail. 1 or 2 small references were there to Asuri Sampat in the course of the previous chapters. And Devi Sampat also has been spoken here and there, and here also he has given a little more detail about it. Now he is concentrating on the Asuri Sampat, the demoniac type of people, and you will see that characteristics given there applicable to people in all parts of the world who have no moral sense, who have no higher humanistic values, only power, pleasure. When man is actuated only by power and pleasure, no higher values can abide in that person, and you will see it from the details given here. Pravrittincha nivrittincha janana vidurasuraha na shaucham napi chacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. These are classifications that took place over 3,000-4,000 years ago. Today, many of them will apply as they are. Some need a little, what they call, modification to suit present-day experiences. But by and large, the picture is absolutely clear. The Asuri people, Asuri Sampat people do not know what is to be done, what is to be avoided. Pravritti and nivritti. This must be done, that must be avoided. They don't know the discrimination. They don't have discrimination at all. Janana vidurasuraha. Similarly, na shaucham, nor have they cleanliness and purity. Na cha acharo, nor right conduct or behavior. Na satyam teshu vidyate. Neither is there truth in them. These are all obstructions. Take for example one person, very ambitious. Only motivation is ambition. I must go up, I must go up, I must go up. Now that man can become extremely unscrupulous. Nothing else can stop him. No ideal of character, no contact. Nothing is there before his mind. Only I must be ambitious. Such a person will be developing almost all these asura qualities, and we have encouraged our children in this direction all these 40 years. Always ambition, ambition, ambition. So, as I quote from McDougall, the Harvard University psychologist of 50 years ago, young people motivated only by personal ambition, without any high character ideal before them, they are bound to become unscrupulous. Why? Because scruples stand in the way of achieving one's ambition. If it stands so, I will reject them. That is the language he has used, and you can see it in human life. Full manifestation of it you will find there. So, na shaucham napi chacharo, na satyam teshu vidyate. Truthfulness you will not find in them. These are all obstructions to his purpose in life. Why should I have them? That's the idea. This is seen in human life everywhere. Then, asatyam apratishthante jagadahu anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kamahetukam. Extreme materialists. Not usually what you call materialistic people. Most people are materialistic. It doesn't do much harm. But materialism can go to very far extent, where nothing higher is understood except pleasure at the physical level. That is called the crudest materialism. Today, in many parts of the world, this crude materialism you will find. Then evils come out of that. What is behind this materialism? What is the philosophy of life of such a people? I am not speaking about usually materialistic people. They have got high qualities, they have got sometimes very higher character, even better than religious believers. So they are one class apart. They are extremely moral, ethical, humanistic, only they don't have any particular belief in a higher power. That doesn't matter. But absence of this higher power or belief in the higher power may eventually lead one going down and down to that kind of crude variety. That is the fear. Therefore, the description given here belongs to that type of people who are crude in their materialistic aspirations. Asatyam apratishtamte jagad ahu anishwaram. They say, these crude materialists, that this world is asatyam. It has no satyam at its bottom, no truth at its bottom. That alone is. What I see is there. What I do not see is not there. That kind of attitude towards the world. Can't go deeper and to see the infinite Atman behind this world of relativity. They don't have that power, they don't have that inclination. So they say like this, asatyam apratishtham. Without any base is this world. There is no spiritual base to this material experiences we have of the world. Then, not only so, anishwaram, there is no divine power behind the universe and within the universe. They deny all this. What I see, only I can believe. What I do not see, I cannot believe. That attitude, not only so, aparaspara sambhutam. This is the product of mutual union between men and women. The whole world is product of that. This is aparaspara sambhutam. And for what purpose? Kama hetukam, impelled by lust. The only impelling power in the world is lust. Even in Freudian psychology, you will find such a tremendous assertion that lust is the main power in the world. Also fear. Both are there. That is kind of study of depth psychology. So, aparaspara sambhutam, kimanyat, kama hetukam. What else except impelled by lust, people have this kind of mutual union and the world goes on. I don't believe in anything else in this world. This kind of philosophy they uphold, mentally speaking. In our country we had this kind of Charvaka philosophy, though Charvaka himself was a very disciplined man, I am told, but we called it Charvaka philosophy. Crude materialistic philosophy is called Charvaka. It has been presented only by non-materialists in India. Materialists themselves have not written books about themselves, but others have written, and therefore this is the picture they give of the materialists in India. This is modern materialism also is the same. There are high levels of this materialism. Tremendous humanism also can go with materialism. That is one apart. Just like, as I said, an agnostic like Thomas Huxley, a man with great humanistic impulse within him, and he spoke of the aim of science as alleviation of human suffering. That is not the materialism that is referred to here. This is the crudest materialism that makes people unconcerned with the happiness and welfare of anybody. I must have pleasure. I will get it by any means possible. That is the type of materialism mentioned here. Aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kama hetukam. Then, etam drishtim avastabhya nashtatmano alpabuddhayah prabhavanti ugrakarmanaha kshayaya jagato ahitaha. With this philosophy in their mind, how do they behave in this world? Etam drishtim avastabhya. Drishti means point of view. Philosophy is called drishti. Adopting this drishti, nashtatmano, they are like lost souls. Nashtatmano. Alpabuddhaya, their intellect also is not very sharp. They can't penetrate through the illogicality of many of their positions, cannot see subtler and subtler aspects of reality. So alpabuddhaya, small-minded. Prabhavanti, they rise in society. Ugrakarmanaha, engaged in violent deeds. Ugrakarmanaha. Kshayaya jagato, in order to destroy this world. Ahitaha, being the world's enemy. Such people arise in society. In fact, the rising of the fascist movement in Germany, Nazi movement in Germany, is one such thing. There was some reason, that is the jealousy of the colonial powers that was there. But to utilize it, to create a tremendous movement where much evil they could do, that is something that Hitler alone could do at that time. 5 people joined together, beer cellar, formed the Nazi party, 1923 or so. By 1933, they had almost come to power and they transformed Germany. instilled all hatred and tremendous evil they perpetrated, so many things they did. And then finally came the war and destroyed. The whole Nazi movement was destroyed. Germany is paying its tribute to the people who died through Nazi movement, and they want to forsake it for all time to come. Now these are things that we have seen in our own history in this century. So here it says like that. Kamam ashritya dushpuram, he says. Shriyaya jagato ahita. Ahita means enemy. Hita means one who is friendly. Ahita is enemy. Kamam ashritya dushpuram. Having lust which cannot be satiated at all. Insatiable lust. Dushpuram. Dambha mana madanvidaha. Full of ostentation, pride and arrogance. Mohat vihitva, says, asadgrahan pravartante ashuchivrataha. They holding evil ideas through delusion. Mind cannot think clearly. Through delusion. They work with impure determination. I must do this, I must do that. Mostly destructive, like that. Chintam aparimeyam cha prayantam upashataha kamopabhoga parama etavaditi nischitaha. They have various cares, resolves in the mind, nursing them up to the end of time. Prayantam, up to the end of pralaya, the desires of the world, as if endless desires go on multiplying in the mind like this. Most of the arrogant tyrants, political tyrants of the world have a good bit of all these qualities. When you now hear about Romania's president and his wife, what kind of evil going on for more than 25-30 years. People are poor, backward, neglected, but he has all the good things of life and very angry, very defiant, etc. And that man is killed in this awakening of the Romanian people just now. The same thing happened in Manila, in the Ferdinand Marcos, also the same story. So arrogance and enjoyment of the world at the cost of people. After all, exploiting people only you can enjoy. That is why this kind of exploitation is essential to enjoy oneself, all the good things of life. Kamam ashritya dushpuram, he says. Dambha mana madanyataha. Dambha mana, arrogance and pride. And mohat vihitva asatgrahat. Out of delusion, they are grasping things, clutching at things, thinking what is unreal to be real. Asatgrahat. Pravartante. They function in this world. Ashuchivataha. Absolutely impure in their thinking, their action. Chintam aparimeyam cha. Anxieties, cares, infinite, nursed up to the end of time. Prayantam upashataha. Today this, tomorrow that, like that, going on. Mind is constantly busy with, I shall achieve this, I shall achieve that. That the shloka will say later on, this detail. Chintam aparimeyam cha prayantam upashataha. Pralayanta, an extreme form. Up to the end of the dissolution of the world, he is nursing. I will do this, etc. Kamopabhoga parama. Their only object, how to fulfill one's lustful desires. Etavaditi nishchitaha. This alone is correct. Nothing else is their conclusion. They are fully committed to it. No higher dimension they can see. Their horizon is so limited. This is the quality of such mind. Asha pasha shatayir baddhaha. They are tied down by the rope of asha, hope and desire, tying him down in hundreds. Asha pasha shataihi baddhaha. Rope. Hundreds like that, bound down. Kama krodha parayanaha. Ever indulging in kama and krodha, lust and anger. Ihante kama bhogartham anyayena artha sanchaya. In order to fulfill his lustful desires, he desires to acquire wealth by stealing from others, robbing them by every means. ihande kama bhogartham, in order to achieve the enjoyment of lustful desires, you need wealth. You don't have it, but others have it, you go and rob. By any means you like. If you are a leader of a political state, you know how to rob people. Various ways of corruption are there. All this they do. So he says, Anyayena artha sanchayan, by unlawful means they accumulate wealth. So, like our Ferdinand Marcos' wife, how many? 1,000, 2,000 sets of shoes or something. Whose money is it? The people's money. This has happened in other countries also. So, these are the ways in which such minds work. Idamadya mayalabdham. What do they sit and think? Krishna is telling, this I am now gained by robbing people. Idamadya mayalabdham. Says, idam prapsye manoratham. This one, the other one, I shall now get, which is according to my heart.